What's going on, guys? Jordan here, coming back at you again with another episode of Beer Reviews. Tonight, I'm going to be doing a blind beer battle between Keystone Light and Coors Light. This is actually going to be part 2, because the first time I did this was a little over 2 years ago, and the results were a draw. I could not figure out which beer I liked the best. Also, that was a very difficult beer battle, I remember. I actually just went and rewatched the video again. I was struggling with that one. I couldn't tell much of a difference. They are very, very close, as they are both made by Coors. Essentially, this is the same as, Natural Light and Bud Light. Natural Light is the budget version, the cheaper alternative, where Keystone Light is also the cheaper alternative to Coors Light. And there's been debate for several years. You've heard it from several different people talking about how it's the same beer, just in a different can. That's not the case. That's not actually true. I found that out back in the day when I first started drinking beer, actually. Coors Light was one of my go-tos, and I picked up Keystone Light because I heard that rumor and wanted to see if it was true, and it's not. Although I did have a very difficult time figuring out which one I liked the best in the last video. But let's go ahead and get on with this. Let's get these out of the way. I have 2 clear plastic cups. You got CL for Coors Light, and you got KL for Keystone Light. Real simple. Let's pour the Keystone Light up first, and we'll get on with this. Pretty excited to do the retry of this because, like I said, the first one was very difficult. Now, Keystone Light is cheaper. Quite a bit cheaper, actually. You can get a 15-pack of Keystone Light for around $11. And a single 12-pack of Coors Light can be $13, $14. So, with Keystone Light, you're getting more beer, and you're getting a lower price tag as well. 4.1% ABV for the Keystone Light and 4.2 for the Coors Light. That difference is nothing. It literally makes no difference if you're new to beer drinking. That 4.1, 4.2 means nothing. They're essentially the exact same. So you're not losing alcohol by purchasing Keystone over Coors. Try to pour these with the same amount of head on top. Alright, those are very similar. Let's look at the color. They both look very, very similar. The Coors Light might be just a touch darker, but just a touch. Now, I do notice Keystone Light is retaining its head a little bit better than the Coors Light. Could be the way I poured it. I'm not sure. Yeah, the head's dissipating very rapidly over here on the Coors Light. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to agitate it just a bit. Because if I'm doing this blindly and I feel more head on one than the other, then I'll automatically know. I don't want that to be the case. All right, so we got it. Keystone Light versus Coors Light. Let's get into it. I'm going to close my eyes and mix up the beers and talk a little bit while I do this, just so I actually forget the orientation of each beer. Which, as I always say, that happens very quickly. I already don't know, but we'll do a few more rotations, and then I'll take it back the other way a couple of times, just to be absolutely sure. All right, both beers are mixed up. I have absolutely no idea which beer is which. Part 2, Keystone Light versus Coors Light. Let's see if we can come to a conclusion this time. I'm going to go with the beer on my left first. Cheers. All right. Quite a bit of carbonation there. This is my first sip of beer of the night. That tastes like an American adjunct lager. Crisp, clean, refreshing. Everything you want in a beer. Beer number 2. That beer also tastes like an American adjunct lager. These are so similar, it's stupid. It's so close. Okay, I will say this. From the first initial taste of each beer, the beer in my right hand tastes a bit cleaner. Also, the carbonation might not be as high. Let me try this again. Yep. Yeah. This one seems to, I don't know, finish just a tad bit cleaner than this one over here. They taste very close. I mean, it's like, it's weirdly close. They're almost the same, but there is a slight difference. Let me go to the nose. This one has more aroma than this one. I don't know. It's kind of like a, I don't know, like a malty, sweet type of a thing going on. Yeah, now this one has more. Okay, no, this one has more aroma than this one, actually. Let's try this again. Let's go back for more of this beer. It's crisp, clean, refreshing. It's an American light beer. That's what it tastes like. It's a good one. I'm thinking this may be Coors Light, just because, like I said, it has a little bit more of a cleaner finish than this beer over here, but I don't know. I'm kind of stumped once again. This has more carbonation. This has a little bit less carbonation with a smoother finish. Cleaner finish, I should say. God, I really don't know. This is insane. They are so close. See, I feel like I'm getting a little bit of an aftertaste on this one now where I didn't on this one. No. That one has a cheap beer aftertaste to it. The finish of this one is not as smooth as this one. So I'm guessing that this is Coors Light. This is Keystone Light. And if that's the case, Coors Light is ever so slightly just beating this one. So I'm going to open my eyes and we're going to reveal the results. Excuse me. I'm saying this is Coors Light, and I'm saying this beer is the winner by a small margin. This is Keystone Light. So I was wrong. Keystone Light wins the beer battle. That's crazy. So, more carbonation and a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a dirty aftertaste. It just wasn't as much of a clean finish as the Keystone Light. Even not blind taste testing them. Tasting them with my eyes open still. This beer tastes a little cleaner than the Coors Light. That shocks me. Because I was literally thinking that this was for sure Keystone Light just because it had that really kind of cheap beer kind of aftertaste to it. It's usually something you notice when you get the budget brand. But it's the opposite in this case. Both beers, obviously, great. Perfect choice. But if you are going based off price, I would go with Keystone Light. Just because you get a 15-pack for about $2 to $3 cheaper than a 12-pack of Coors Light. The beer prices have went up over the last several years. I used to get a 15-pack of Keystone Light for around $9, $10. Now it's like 11 something. And then Coors Light used to be 12. Now it's closer to 14 for the 12-pack. So you're getting more beer and it's cheaper. So just go with the Keystone Light. Try this for yourself if you're curious. It's very interesting when you do things blind. The results may shock you. Also, if you see, there is a little bit better head retention on the Keystone Light. That's how it was from the beginning. It's a well-made beer. So, Keystone Light defeats Coors Light in round 2. Later in the future, we'll probably do this again and see what happens then. But the first one was a draw. The second one, Keystone Light wins it. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to hit me with a thumbs up. And if you guys have any suggestions on anything you would like me to try in the future, leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to try to find it and give it a review. As always, until next time, cheers, and thanks for watching.